Hey, what's going on, sports fans? Matthew Bellman, Ryan Kostrowski. This is the DFS 5 pack. So hopefully everybody enjoyed the break. I'm assuming you probably had some like college ball to watch, even though you're off the NBA, right?
Yeah, there's some college ball to watch, but it was nice to have some time off, spend some time with the family. You know how that goes.
I completely understand. We're only a couple of weeks away from your number one love, and no, I'm not referring to your wife or your dog. I'm talking about Major League Baseball. I'm sure Sam accepts the idea that she's a close second on that one, but that baseball will always be your thing.
Yeah, well, she accepted she's a close third behind MLB and Maisie, so you'll have to take that up with her.
Maisie's his dog, not his side piece, or something like that, just so like everybody knows.
Yeah,
That,
hello.
talk about like the world's dumbest thing to say on a video if that were the case.
Yeah, right. Good thing she doesn't watch these videos.
That's true. She's like, I caught you. And to be like, oh, I understand how. All right, guys. So we're going to do a little sports betting talk. We only got two NBA games tonight that we're going to dive into. By now, most of you know we have partnered with the good people over at Jazz Sportsbook, Casino, Racebook. They do all those things. It's jazzsports.ag. If you want to join, they will give you all the deposit matches. They've been in business for a long time. They got same-day payouts. If you would want to get a free 5-pack membership, just use our promotional code of 5-pack when signing up. If you make that initial deposit, let me know that you did so I can get you a free 5-pack membership. Length of membership will be based on your deposit, and we'll kind of go from there. But, it's kind of a thank you from us to you guys over there who are willing to do so. If you're going to bet on sports, why not play for Jazz?
Yeah, let's get it, man.
So we got ourselves two NBA games tonight, and it seems like so. First things first, while you and I will differ on DFS a lot, we also differ on how we evaluate sports when it comes to sports betting. One thing that we do seem to agree on as much as anything, when it comes to betting on NBA, we are both highly attracted to betting on underdogs.
Yeah, definitely. It's one thing. Finally, it feels nice to make videos where we're not arguing all the time. We're still arguing, so don't worry
Yes.
about that. But yeah, we do seem to agree more on that point. I know that's something that I've always kind of, well, not always, but in the past, I would say 4 or 5 years, really, honing on my betting game. It's just, I always found just for me personally, like, I'd rather pass than bet a favorite. Usually. Now, that's not to say like you can't, like in anything in life, like DFS, like, you can't have those defined rules. But usually, like you said, I don't like to bet favorites, and tonight is no different.
No, I'm with you on this one. So we both like the Wizards here. They are 3.5 point dogs. Money line is currently 135. How do you go about, and again, everybody can bet differently. Everybody has different bankrolls. How do you go about betting something like this in general, or how do you feel like you will approach it this evening?
So I will say I like this spot, but it's not a spot I like love. I'm not like, oh my god, I have to bet the Wizards here. I'm so confident in them. I
And that's a good thing of note, guys, because not that your more confident bets always work out, your less confident ones don't, but this isn't one like this isn't the bet of the year or anything like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't know. I'm surprised the line's 3.5. Honestly, like I pegged this game as being like a 2 point spread. Kind of surprised Memphis is 3.5 point favorites here. I like most like I always kind of do. Let's say you're $100 better. If I was I would bet like $100 on them +4 and $50 on them money line, or $50 on them +4 or +3.5. Excuse me, $25 money line, whatever. I'd probably go like one unit and then half a unit on the money line, something like that.
Okay. I'm still trying to figure out how I want to approach this one tonight. If I want to just bet the Wizards to win straight up, if I want to dabble on a little bit of both
Man,
sides on this one. The 3.5 point spread is tough to nail on this one.
It is. I'll say this, like, man, that's a lot of points for us. It's not like you're getting a ton of odds with the +135.
Agreed.
Like 4 points is, or 3.5, excuse me. I always just round up because a lot of times if it's a lot of times I buy to a push. So if I'm betting a 3.5 point spread, a lot of times I'll buy it to a 4, depending on the situation. That's another video for another day. Man, you could like that's over a one possession game, and I would think the money on this would be like, I don't know, closer to what the Spurs is at a very similar spread.
That's kind of what I was thinking. Again, you have been messing with the world of sports betting a lot longer than I have. So I was actually going to ask you about that because that was my first thoughts on this one as well. That being said, you got to really buy into it being a close game to think that the 3.5 points makes a difference to you. So you got to tell yourself a story on this one, however you want to approach it. And again, it goes back to everybody's bankrolls a little bit different about how they want to approach things. But I do lean on the Wizards winning this game. And I have been on this Wizards for a good portion of the year from DFS just picking on, but I've been betting with them. And I have been correctly using their guys on DFS a lot lately. So the side of that is I've watched a lot of Wizards basketball lately. And this is a team that looked like they needed to blow it up since they played the Celtics on this, I believe it was a Sunday afternoon or a Saturday afternoon. Do you remember that game?
That Boston game?
Yeah, where their winning streak kind of started.
I think it was a Sunday, but I'm not positive on that.
It was a weekend day during the day, and it was like an island game. Nothing else was playing at the same time. So I watched a bunch of this one, played the showdown on DK, and like, man, I was just like, this is a new team right now. They all of a sudden got some swagger. It looks like they were starting to think things out. After that, they beat the Rockets handily, which is nothing to write home about. Beat the Nuggets in a close game, beat the Trailblazers, beat the Lakers, lost to the Clippers on a tail end of back-to-back in LA. You know, you even warned me in that game. You're like, this is just such a bad spot for them. And you talked me off of betting them to cover like the 11 that day. So that was smart, and I appreciate that. Then they beat the Nuggets again in another close game, rolled the T-Wolves, which again doesn't really move the needle for everybody. And then I started wondering on this close loss to the Celtics. They blew this game down the stretch. And like, is this the moment where things start falling apart again? They lost to this Grizzlies team 10 days ago. And I will say, this was just a bad second quarter. This was a very even game outside of a bad second quarter where they just completely pooped the bed. And then I thought the win against the Clippers was encouraging, even though Paul George was scratched at the end.
Yeah. Man, Clippers did some crazy stuff. Clippers did some crazy stuff the past couple of games with Kawhi and then George getting scratched both at the last minute. It's now that's ringing a bell to me now. Yeah, I mean, I kind of like the point that Washington remembers this game. I mean, I do think that, like, who do you think is the better team, Memphis or Washington?
I think they're really close.
I agree. I think that Memphis is the slightly better team, but Washington has, you know, the two of the top three, maybe the two best players. So that means something.
We can agree Beal's the best player in this game, right?
I agree.
Okay. Who's better right now, Russ or Ja?
Probably Russ.
Yeah,
I mean,
I would still say he's still a little bit better. It is close. It's real close. What's that?
If Morant could shoot better, I'd say Morant, but it's not like he's a great shooter.
Well, I'm going to counter that with if Russ could shoot, I'd say Russ by a long shot, but neither of them can really shoot. So
exactly.
I mean, their games are similar. When people call Ja a young Russell Westbrook, they're not wrong. Their games are very, very similar.
For sure. No doubt about it.
And I like the personality of both of them, too. A couple little pit bulls on this one. So I'm with you on this one. I kind of like the idea of a more veteran ball club in Washington who's got a lot to play for right here. This is a team ascending in the East, hoping to make the playoffs. You got a guy like a Beal who come out ready to rock in the second half. So I just expect a better game from them. And I'm with you on this one. We're both going to be betting the Wizards. I'm just not sure how I want to bet it yet.
Yeah, I'm with that. Any thoughts on the next game?
I won't put a single dollar on it at all. I expect the Mavs to win, but I also kind of expect it to be close. I think the line's right and everything like that. I'll just avoid it. I got no love for that game as far as a betting perspective.
I get that. I mean, if anything, like I think the Spurs could easily win that game.
Yeah, so I can get like betting the money line on that one. I understand it. I don't like it enough to put any of my dollars on it. And there's a whole bunch of more games tomorrow.
That's fair.
That's one of the things I think we try to bring up to you guys just as it's like a life lesson because we've both been doing some versions of betting, whether it's me playing online poker or you sports betting since you were 3 years old or whatever it might be to like, if you don't really like it, there is a buttload of games tomorrow. You can get after it then. Don't chase things and don't bet things that you are just betting for the action.
Yeah, no doubt about that. For sure.
So we've all done it, and me and you included. That's why we're speaking from experience on this one.
Oh, I'm still doing it. And every time I do it, I think about us talking about it, and I'm like pissed at myself.
The last day before the NBA went away, like I almost put some extra money down in the game, and I'm like, why? You don't like it. You're just playing for the action. just sit back and watch the game.
Well, you have a lot more discipline than me still, which is unfortunate for me.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Some days it's good, some days it's bad.
That's fair.
Anyways, guys, thanks a lot for watching. Click that thumbs up button. Sign up to play on Jazz Sports. Our promo code is 5PACK, and just let me know when you do so. I can't see your email when you sign up, so I need to know if you sign up and make a deposit so I can get you that free membership.
Thanks, guys.